Project Pipeline is based on the fundamental principle that social justice should be imbued into our architectural education and into our architectural practice. Our values are validated through the spaces and places that we build. This is an effort to make sure that not just our young people, but our mentors and our community members understand the impact of design on our places and spaces, and they have the tools that are necessary to combat injustice whenever they see it.
So NOMA stands for National Organization of Minority Architects. Right now, their national membership, including all 27 registered chapters, are up to nearly 1,000 registered professionals. The Kansas City chapter, otherwise known as NOMA KC, is formed with not just architects, but also registered engineers, graphic artists, civil engineers, anybody in the design profession, including general contractors, are in our organization.
This year we had the amazing opportunity to work with GM to work on summer learning loss, and the idea that most students lose a significant portion of the academic knowledge that they gained over the course of the year through that summertime. This actually provides an opportunity to re-engage their minds, re-engage their academic, mathematics, scientific, historic conditions relative to site. And so this is that opportunity, and it wouldn't have happened without GM. So we're extremely proud and extremely honored to have worked with them this year to make this happen.
We have had the opportunity to engage youth from 2 different cities, KCK and KCMO, multiple ages as young as 8 or 9 all the way up to 17 and 18, to participate in what I would call true community engagement.
This summer we decided to step it up a little bit and make sure that we actually did something that was a design build as opposed to just the architectural and urban planning condition that we've worked on in the past camps.
Project Pipeline started out introducing empathy into this group, letting the youth understand that we are all connected, whether we are from different neighborhoods or may look different or be different ages. We all are connected.
We have kids who are being given the chance to design. It's not about those who are helping you design, such as mentors or professionals. It's all about them.
The first day we actually got a chance to work on ideas. We looked at the Northeast Master Plan. We started to talk about food injustice, economic injustice.
They are going to be able to get hands-on with designing models or delving into projects that directly affect the people in their community.
And make sure that these opportunities for young people to engage that conversation wasn't just about their voice, it was about the larger voice of the community being inputted into the projects.
We did some introduction to the history and to different things that are going on in this community.
Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned more about the community, and I learned about redlining. I learned that in redlining they would they would get a miniature map and they would draw red lines of where everybody could live, and depending on where you lived, that means that you couldn't get a loan from the bank.
And allow them to pick and choose what they're interested in and what may be going on close to their home or their school.
And so it's phenomenal to see how these kids have taken projects that are useful in our community in 2.5 days.
The mentors are helping them with different tips and methods of building these models to relay what's in their head and get that on paper and get that into a physical something they can handle.
And so the students had the opportunity to take that. They did multiple projects. Each one of them had an opportunity to show their voice through a project. And then by the end of the day, over the first day, we actually had the opportunity to merge some of those ideas.
We are at Youth Build. Yesterday, we basically drew a diagram of the map.
And today, it's day 2. And we're just building our projects now.
So we built our thing on a miniature scale, and today we're building it on a life-size scale.
Today we're building it. We're actually putting it into effect.
Yesterday we created models, but today we're making the real deal.
I think the most impactful thing for me has definitely been today, working with the kids to actually design something with our hands. And not only did they learn, I learned too, because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. So it's great to be a student leader here, and then it's great to see them learn too, because they get to be really excited.
The youth are able to work with real materials, real wood, real 2x4s and plywood and fasteners, and see how their vision, stemming from their experience, is able to physically build and put together what was in their head.
We actually ended up on day 2 building all of these projects, and you'll see over the course of that time, the students not only worked with architectural drawings, construction gear, they worked with drills and saws and screws, and they made something that didn't exist the prior day.
It's like a refill station, practically, to refill water balloons, because we plan on having our first annual water balloon fight.
Right now, we are building the platform for the sign man to stand on.
When you drawing it out, you never know how it's gonna go. But as you're building it, you come up with more ideas.
We were modeling it out on a map first, and so then we just started to create 3D things that you would see in real life.
After you build it, it's better after you build it, because now you know, like, the stuff that you did.
And to watch them come together and put together projects. We thought about 4 maybe, and we ended up with 6 today. And to see all 6 projects come to fruition is just absolutely phenomenal.
Crosswalk signs, so when kids are crossing the street, we could push the sign to the road and then the car can stop.
So that way kids can be safe when they're walking to school and no one gets hit by a car.
So we're building something called 360 Jobs. What it is, it helps you look up jobs and it helps you train for your jobs. It's all outdoors.
We feel like it's a lot of violence going on, fighting and stuff like that, so we just run the water fight in just to get everybody into, the environment and have fun.
We've had the opportunity to be in a space where students landed on a full, enriching project, not just for themselves, but for the community and with the community.
This is the type of thing that now we have a seed that is planted, that we can now grow this into something that becomes very useful for our community. This is the type of project that needs to be championed about what happens in our community. Not just the murders and the crime and the violence, but look at what our youth can put together when we give them other options. We always talk about giving kids options. Well, here was an option that was provided to us for these kids to do something different with their own creativity, with their own hands, with their own minds, and put together 6 projects that is absolutely phenomenal.
What I learned doing the work is everything's not going to be perfect, of course, but also that it's just teamwork that everybody needs to have.
Just the process of, taking an idea, putting it on paper, building it with your hands, both at a small scale and a large scale, and how that makes you feel good. They're getting a sense of pride and an opportunity to take pride in what they're doing.
Being here has really inspired me, so I'd say it's really great for student leaders too, just to get some experience and to kind of know what you like.
A lot of what helps society to be greater is when you can see what you can become.
I like architecture because I like to draw and plan stuff out, and then I like hands-on activities and stuff like that.
Well, prior to today, many of these kids had no idea what their ingenuity could do, how they could connect all of this together to make something very powerful.
I want to learn how to build stuff, so I won't have to ask people to build stuff for me, so I can have the experience to do it myself.
Now we have planted a seed in them as to what they could do with their lives, what they could do with their thoughts, what they could do with their creativity with just a little help.
The buildings that are all spray painted and stuff, they should build really nice stuff like that downtown and stuff and put it in them communities. What I want to happen, hopefully, is that when kids start going to school, they can see the signs, and so does the cars, and so then they can stop, wait, and so the kids can cross the street without getting hurt.
Kids are really influenced by stuff when they're younger anyway, because my dad is a contractor, so I got to see houses being built when I was young.
When I was a kid, I had no other professional architect to ask about what the profession was like. So now, I'm that person that any student can come up to and ask. And I want them to ask me. And Know My KC now has that platform. No excuses for a kid not to be able to find a registered professional. and talk to them about what it takes to get into our profession.
I think just any exposure when you're younger is kind of just like, I know what I want to be when I grow up.
I want to do architecture, animation, or I want to play basketball.
I'm trying to be an architect, and if that doesn't work, I'm trying to be a football player. When I grow up, I'm gonna become a teacher. I'm gonna become a hairstylist. I'm gonna become a college professor, and maybe an architect person.
Project Pipeline has definitely been one of the most impactful events I've taken part in, specifically because I'm from the area that we are working in, and they are in the same neighborhood, walking the same streets, going the same places that I used to when I was growing up. Youth that are in the same place I was in are now, getting the opportunity to take part in a project like this.
I wish I would have had something like this. I feel like this would have really opened me up to just showing what design can be and how things can come to real life.
I think that projects like this are super important. So I think if you have more, specifically young people going into the profession of architecture, participating in projects like this and being mentors, it will plant a seed to maybe grow that diversity in the profession.
I want to build houses and buildings.
Day 3 is really fantastic because they get a chance to show that off with the community. They get a chance to talk about all the voices that they heard in their process and the ways in which they translated that, they interpreted that, and they put it into the actual physical building of the space. So for me, I couldn't be prouder, I couldn't be happier to have worked with all of these fantastic mentors, the Kansas University students, and the architects of Kansas City. It wasn't just the architectural community, it was the community, and I think that in itself defines how we want Project Pipeline, but our profession to track moving forward. And so hopefully this carries on in a way that builds capacity, builds agency, and builds the courage in young people to take control of their community in a way that they see fit.
This program is spot on. This gets kids energized. When they actually get hands-on and see what they're doing, it's a walk in the park. Having this program is the necessary step. This should have happened 30 years ago.
And I love how Project Pipeline comes to underrepresented communities and really works with Black women, because I'm a Black woman. I really would love to see more of us in the field, in school, starting them young, working them up to be in the profession.
It gives me a break from all the bad kids at school, and I get to study about architecture and how I could do better.
We learn a lot from it, and you still have fun at the same time.
They're getting a wealth of knowledge and mentorship, and if anything, they'll carry some wisdom away after these 3 days of working with professionals as well as educators.
I want this to be a moment where they can look back and say, Project Pipeline changed my life.
So my name is Brian C. Lee Jr. and this is Project Pipeline KC.
I'm Broderick Crawford. I am a part of Project Pipeline.
My name is Phil Doherty, otherwise known as Philly D.
We want to be a part of youth engaging in creativity.
My name is Darius. This is Project Pipeline KC.
My name is Jaren, and this is Project Pipeline KC.
This is KCK. This is KC Mo, coming together to do something great with the youth of our community.
My name is Ja, and this is Project Pipeline KC.
My name is Rhythm. This is Project Pipeline KC.
My name is Cephia London, and this is Project Pipeline KC. My name is Rayaja, and this is Project Pipeline KC.
You will want to be a part of something that's bigger than your neighborhood, that's bigger than your community.
Come check us out.
And this is Project Pipeline KC. Signing out.
My name is Dante, and this is Project Pipeline KC, and I'm out. Peace.
All right. Looks like I use my pants. All right. Who has moves? Everybody ready? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Listen. You're gonna grab a balloon. You're gonna spread out. No, this is about to school. Come on, y'all. I love that here. Hold on. There you go. There we go. Ready? No, not yet. 2, 3.
Will you miss us? Will you be doing this next year? Oh my gosh, this little kid.